The Tao Te Ching, Chapter 33. Translated by Jeff and Stacy Mallinson. Discover what makes others tick, and you'll be people smart. Understand your true self, and you'll be enlightened. To confront others is gutsy. To confront your true self is heroic. Appreciate what you have right in front of you, and you'll realize your abundance. Pursue your true calling, and you will be unstoppable. Maintain your integrity, and you won't lose heart. Your legacy of love will endure forever. Everything else will turn to ashes. As I reflect on this chapter, there's a very powerful thought experiment that Derek Lin had talked us through. He does a very good literal translation of the Tao Te Ching, and he's from LA. You can look up his stuff, but his thought experiment was that it's kind of a trick question, but you have a king and a priest and a rich man. So the king represents power, the priest represents spirituality, and the rich man represents money or resources. And the thought experiment is, if you're a warrior and you are told that you need to kill two of them, which two do you kill? And which one will you keep? Will you keep the king, who has all the power? Will you keep the priest, who can share with you spirituality? Do you keep the rich man, who has all the money? The trick question really kind of is that you are the warrior. So you actually have the power in your own hands. You don't need to kill any of them, or you could kill all of them. But to think that we need to give up our power to either the kings, like our leaders, or to the priests, like our spiritual leaders, or to rich people who, they could pay us lots of money and make sure that our worldly needs are met. I took this thought experiment one step further in thinking through this whole chapter. And basically I was realizing that it is the bad kings who seek to sort of control spirituality and like resources and money. So they want to use their power to then, gain the magic or the power that comes from God and money. They, often kings will even have, there's obviously we have the separation of church and state, but there's often times where kings want to control religion. And I would say, this can be true of any of our powerful leaders, that when they are bad, when they're trying to control people through money and spirituality, that's a very bad sign. Also, priests, when they're not doing their job, they're using spirituality to control people, to have power, and also to gain money. They will often, you have a lot of people that will try to trick you into, sending in money, and then you'll be blessed, 100-fold or whatever they promise. But they're swindling people's money, and taking sort of even the threat of hell. So the fear of punishment and the wanting to have the reward, using those things to control people through heaven and hell, then they're holding a certain power over you with their spirituality. When you have rich people that are bad, they use their money to control you spiritually, or even to control the churches. They'll, use their money to sort of sway things in their directions, or what they think is the right way forward. And they'll use it for power over people. They'll, in a way, sort of maybe even glorified slaves in a sense. Like, they'll use their money to pay you to get the, then you'll do what they want. If they, give you money and make sure that your worldly needs are taken care of, then they have a certain power that they gain from the money. All of that to say that this chapter is basically guarding you against those things. That when it mentions in the first part that discover what makes others tick, and you can be people smart. You can manipulate people. You can gain people's power by understanding that. But real power, true power, the power that won't go away is understanding yourself. It's having the guts and the heroicism to look inside and really figure out all parts of you. Once you understand who you truly are, then you can look at other people with compassion, and you won't be looking for other people for power. Like you will be in control of your own self. You will understand yourself. You will understand how you and others operate. So it's not about using that to, like, you don't want to, it's not real power to hold something over somebody, or to just because you know how to manipulate them. No, it's true power comes from understanding yourself and not being manipulated by others. The next part, where it talks about appreciate what you have right in front of you and you'll realize your abundance. I mean, worldly resources and money, it takes way too much of our attention and our focus in life. And it's often like the most beautiful moments are the small things. For instance, like if it's a nice bright, all of a sudden spring day and the sun comes out, and when you are just able to just lay down in the grass and soak up the sun's rays, there's just something so refreshing and life-giving in that. Or imagine a rainy day, and as Derek Lynn, he points out too, that it's as simple as like making yourself a nice warm soup. I like to think of it as cuddling up with a good book or a movie on a nice, rainy day. And even that like has its own feeling of warmth. Like it's looking around when, you're there with your family and or any friends or any loved ones. Like you have these beautiful people right in front of you. That is when you really have everything. Like you don't, the other pursuits that we want, the fast cars and all these other things, like they're just distractions really from what really matters. And then the last part about if you pursue your calling and you'll be unstoppable, like, and maintain your integrity and you won't lose heart. Like, who are you to the core of your being? What is your calling? And when you're doing that, when you are like sort of harnessing that power, like really doing like what it is that you are meant to do, like when you see people that are truly passionate about something, it's infectious. Like you want that, like you want to be around those people, you want to observe their art, and it doesn't have to be a grand thing. It's like when somebody is really skilled and doing it, like the attraction to it just exudes out. Like you want to see that, you want to help support it. And I think it's when your heart is in the right place, when you are appreciating all of the beauty around you, when you are doing what it is that you are meant to do, that is your legacy of love that will endure forever. People will remember you for the love that you had, the life-giving energy that you had to do what you were doing, and it's the rest of it, any other darkness, any other thing that is not of that source, that will fall away. That doesn't last forever. That, in a sense, we mentioned even at one point we were going to say that everything else will burn away, as a reference sort of to hell, because what endures forever is our love. It is like, that's when the most beloved people, like we remember them for years. Now, some people, I guess, can be remembered for the wrong reasons, but those are the people we fear, not the everlasting love that we have for, say, our parents, that when they've gone on and we miss them, when they took care of us. And my advice to you is just stop for a moment and look what's right in front of you. Where is there beauty right there near you that maybe we've been too busy to overlook, or to pay attention to, and we've overlooked it? Go find that, embrace that, and I think that joy, it becomes part of you, and people will see it. No, what are you so happy about? Anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.